All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? Running a little bit late here today, as you can see. This would be a simplicity I would like, actually. This little breakout here. But let's see if I can get an LRE off of it. Morning. Hope everybody survived yesterday. Everybody that traded after the open. How'd y'all do yesterday? FOMC day. We do have some 8:30 news coming up as well, so yeah, see, and that's why I didn't just jump into a trade, because I, kind of just sat down. So didn't jump into a trade either because I didn't have time to fully analyze this long. And I would have wanted, looking at it now, I would have wanted it to break this flux level first before really getting in, even though it did break this little chop area. It busted through, but now you go right into a flux and wall. So that's why even if I have a setup that's looking pretty good, if I just sat down and haven't had time to look at everything, then I skip it no matter what. Yeah, Vegas, I'm limited to my 1 hour, and that's it. Good morning. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. Jim, John, Doctor, Peter, Jean. All right, let's see if we, so on the 50 tick, we did have a little bit of 3-bar chop. It's trying to break out of that, but you can see before that, we had 5 bars, then 3 bars. Now it's continuing up. So like here is where I'd want a simplicity long to break out. But, we've already technically been in a simplicity for a little while, so and we're in the dark zone now. Unemployment claims could make the market move right now, so man, we're all the way up to the 1 deviation, above the 1 deviation. We just made our new high of the day as well. This pullback would have won. I mean, I didn't really like it that much, but yeah, Daniel. So you just go into your indicators. Any day now. Okay. Go into your indicators, then go to your deviation reversal indicator. And then all the way at the bottom, under plots, you'll see this value. You kind of open that up. And then you just check this box, match data series width. Right there, you just check that box, and then it'll line up your DR with the bars above it. So I'm going to wait till after this news comes out and then see if we can get a nice trend and hopefully get a trade. Take a look at YM. As you can see on the 50 tick, that bar never closed up. See, I would prefer a reset. Well, we have news, but right now I'd prefer a reset. And then, as this bar is coming up, get a simplicity long at the top of this bar, the top of the breakout bar. Those are the ones that I prefer. Because just a minute ago, when it was going long and breaking out, it hadn't had a breakout bar yet. So like right now, it didn't reset, but in this area would be where I'd prefer it to reset and then give a long. But of course, we have news coming up to mess everything up. Look at the 30 tick. Look at this chop. Just chopping on its way up. 2-3 bar chop on its way up. That's ugly. This 30 tick looks ugly. All right, here's the news.
Potential OP rejection on YM. Double cluster YM. OP rejection on YM. Double cluster YM.
Profit goal, I don't have I have a minimum profit goal, so I definitely want around 40 ticks. Um, Around 40 ticks or more is my profit goal. Yeah, this is the Apex sniper system. I typically shoot for 50 ticks because I want each trade to get at least 25, and I definitely look for at least 2 winners. But sometimes I have a minimum goal of about 40 though. But I'm typically shoot for 50, and sometimes I'll get in a trailing trade and get more out of it. So because I do trail my trades. Morning, Bill. All right. News reaction. Price is back to where it was trading at pre-news. So just about. Well, yeah, it's back. So see where it goes from here. Good morning.
Potential SLZ on NQ. SLZ on NQ.
Yeah, the only thing is the high of the day is 12,639.75. So if it does go long, that'll be making new highs of the day, which is fine. But that means there's going to be no order prints up there for a while.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
I mean, it could be one of those days where it's just going to trend up. The overall trend is long.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, we do have a simplicity short right now, but but it's not one I'd look to take. So we have a cluster on the 30 tick here, lots of HD building up, 1300%. Then back below is that choppy area with these clusters. 50 tick chart at the bottom of the bar. So, I mean, it could go down, but I'll wait for an LRE in that case. Yeah, below 600 would be nice. Just seems like there's a lot of choppy areas between the 0.7 deviation and the 1 deviation. Just looking at the 50 tick. Settlement down here around 414, 415. We are on the 4th bar of chop now. 50 tick. We did get a reset. So if this comes down, this bar closes down and continues to head down, and then we get a flip back short on simplicity. That could be a short. We got quite a few things down here, though,
Potential TX on NQ.
to look out for. So 30 tick is still in this major HD state. So if this bar closes up, I don't think it will, though.
Double cluster YM.
Bar needs to close at 616.50. You got close.
Potential elevator on YM.
Back to the top now of the 50 tick. Didn't quite close that bar. Almost got there. See, these are the simplicity entries I don't like that much. We have potential long here. Actually, this did set up long, but I would need it to break above this area, above 640, like you mentioned. But the issue is right now, we're still in this 50 tick chop block. So if it gives a long and we haven't had a breakout bar, I don't really like that. Like I was just saying a minute ago, I'd prefer it to reset, and as it's going to give me a breakout bar, then give me the long up here. And if it doesn't, if that doesn't happen and it just goes long, then I'll wait for the LRE. Because there's a lot of times, just like here, you see this wick. Could have given a long right here at the top of this bar, and you say, okay, it's going to go, and then it just comes back, and you saw how it came all the way back down here. You know, if you'd have got in up here, that's like 15 points that it pulled back. So those are how to avoid some of the fake outs by looking at the 50 tick chart. Just having things line up together. Or like on this 30 tick, how we did get this bar to close up with HD, bunch of HD here, pull back, tons of volume, but there's also a cluster up here on this level. But if this would have laid a mini magnet with it, then I would have said, okay, this is probably going to push up. But there's nothing, all it did was just pull back and test this area here, but no real signal that it's going to shoot up or continue long after this bar closes. Now, if this gives this mini magnet here and closes up, then that could push us up. I always look for mini magnets to tell me, to give me push-offs and pull back too. Yeah, so how I would avoid that is I wouldn't take the simplicity entry. So like I was saying, if for example, at the top of this bar here, if it gives me a long, but it's not a breakout bar yet, right? So if there's nothing else, like that mini magnet I just explained on the 30 tick, nothing else really telling me that it's going to push off, but it just gives a long, but I still haven't broke out of the 50 tick chop box, I'm just going to skip it, and I'm just going to wait for a pullback LRE. And hopefully the pullback would have had a breakout bar, like close. But yeah, in this case, up here at the top, if this was looking to go long, if it doesn't reset and then go long, then I'll skip it. Because many times you can get those fake outs. Yeah. Yeah, I get the support on the 30 tick also if it doesn't give me the perfect simplicity long with the breakout bar. See, and like right now, that's what happened. We got a long here. I mean, obviously you have this wall and stuff, so you probably wouldn't have wanted to take it anyways. But we got a long here, and then it immediately pulled back, reset, crossed, all that good stuff. But that could have been avoided just by waiting for the 50 tick. See, now we're setting up to go long above that area potentially, and that would be where the breakout bar is. So now we have a breakout bar, and we have a setup bar for simplicity.
Potential OP rejection on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
We also have the 30 tick in a ODD state. Oh, I looked at the 30 tick as soon as this went. But we are in an overall long trend. So I'm going to see if I can hit this rose wall up here, if it's going to go now. I'm going to trail tight up to that wall. There we go. Grab 36 ticks on it. It bounced off the wall, so I tightened up real quick. It may break through, but it may chop around here. You see how that worked out? So that was nice. But look at, that's a perfect simplicity for me. And I don't know if you saw, as soon as this laid, my stop was originally down here, but as soon as it laid this little level, this mini magnet Paul ZOI, and started potentially laying a mini magnet on 30 tick there, I put my stop under there. So I had very little risk on this. Very little risk. And it came down and hit that level and then popped up. Dan, did you hop in that one, Dan? I almost missed it because I looked over at the 30 tick right whenever I was calling this. And then it shot up a little bit. It's like, oh, crap. So thankfully it retraced a little bit for me to get in. Yeah, but let me show you the 50 tick. This is what I was explaining. You can see my entry right here, right? So look, what do we have? We have the 3 tick, 3 bar chop. And then right there at the breakout bar, that was my entry. And that's exactly where a simplicity entry was, right? Right? So you have the angled up. Right here, technically the simplicity entry is about 44. I got in on the retrace here, 41.75. And I just took it right up to my target was that rose wall, but it shot up so fast it bounced it and came down, so I just made sure and threw my stop right there. But you had to manage that one quick. Yeah, at one point it was like 41 ticks or something I was up. And then closed out with 36. As you can see on my chart there. My stop was originally 20 ticks. I have a 20 tick stop there. But, so which is 5 points. My entry is 42, I guess. My stop was it placed my stop at 37. But since it was, so you gotta remember on simplicity, sometimes I'm willing to accept a little more risk on it because you gotta sometimes give it some room. So my stop was at 37, and if you look right here on the 10 tick where I'm showing you, what right below it is that wall. And then right here was these double clusters. So I went ahead and moved it behind the wall. So I really had like a 20 like a 7-point stop, I guess. So about a 28 tick stop on that one. And then as soon as I saw this level print here, I went ahead and tightened it up. So it made my stop only, about, let's see, 42, about 3 or 4 points after it started going. So initially, yeah, I had a 7-point stop. Then I moved it to 3 or 4 points. Yeah, and you may have missed it, Mark, with the other day when I said I'm going to start taking simplicity entries also because, I can't limit myself to just LREs. I mean, you can, but January really showed me that I need another tool in my bag. I need to start doing something else as well instead of just LREs because I'm very limited, especially, and that's mainly because I'm very limited in my time. I only have an hour a day, right? So, and that's me. That's on me. But so yeah, Mark, I took the simplicity, and what triggered that is I was looking at I used the 50 tick chart. We had 3 bars chop, 5 bars chop, 3 bars, 3 bars. So here, I always look for breakout bars. Preferably, I like when there's 4 bars of chop and then a breakout bar. But here we had 3 bars of chop, and then we had a breakout bar right where there was a simplicity long entry. And it was breaking out of that area. So we had HD as well on the 30 tick, and we were breaking this top area to the left. Yeah, Smack. I needed another entry versus just looking for the LREs. Yeah, Daniel, hold on. John did do a video on the 50 tick, but really, I don't have diagnostic bars. So let me show you that real quick. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me see what's going on. I kind of stopped looking. We have HD, but hold on. Simplicity chart here. I just want to note. See how it's going sideways right now? I'm not looking for anything in here because it hit that rose wall. This is where I took profit. Yeah, we did have a pullback here. But it was going right into all that OP that it laid. And these are 30 tick order prints, right? So I wouldn't really want to take this pullback right into all these order prints. And you see it kind of did chop. Now it broke out. And it's coming back down into it. But look how the simplicity lines are, right? It looks ugly right now. So I wouldn't be looking for a trade. So I just wanted to note that. The 50 tick chart, Daniel, this is actually not a diagnostic bars. It is the apex continuum bars. And then you do 50-50. This setting 1440 will automatically be there. But then you just do 50-50 for body size and ticks and reversal size and ticks. And then there's a tool, a template. Right here. JS favorite continuum. That's John's favorite continuum. And that's how you get that. Yep, no problem. Let me find the video real quick because I'm not seeing any trades that I'm looking to take right this second. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not. Well, market is still going long. Let's see what happens here. But see, this isn't a really nice, like, look, if you look at the 50 tick all morning since I've been on, look at how it's going up. 3 bars, 5 bars, 3 bars, 3 bars. This is the only little break we've had right here. Not, decent little clean little break, and then right back into 3 bar chop. Look back here to the left. This is what I like to see. Look at that. Yeah, you're going to have some pullbacks and oscillations in there, but look how clean that is. So all this morning, it hasn't really been very clean. But see, look back here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars of chop, breakout bar, and then go. That's what I really like. But that's not really happening this morning. And I'm a little bit leery on this pullback happening now. I mean, I like the rose wall that it's on. I mean, like I said, this market might just want to go long all day. Look at it. It's going. Because you have this OP right here, this green eye block cluster ZOI here. I would kind of expect for it to pull back to it, but just a minute ago, as it was pulling back, it had a mini magnet up here, which could make it bust through or create chop. But this may pull back pretty clean. Let's see. But then we have to go back through this rose wall here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, Dan. You got to play the hand, and it does look pretty nasty. And keep in mind too, a lot of times when it's running or makes a big move, it can either chop and then continue, or sometimes it'll just chop and then come back the other way. So, like right now, it's pretty. I mean, you can see between 44 here and about 64, 20-point range. Or not range, but like a 20-point zone where it's kind of just sideways on simplicity here. Not really that nice. 50 tick chart. We're on the 4th bar of chop again. So it's not very pretty. And here we go. If this bar closes down and then we end up getting a short breakout bar and a short simplicity, that's when you got to look what's below us. Look at this. Look at all this spread out OP. That is telling me chop. And there's a cluster on the current bar. But this right here is telling me I don't want to play in that area. So the 50 tick bar closed down. And keep in mind too, the market right now, I mean, it's above the 1 deviation. It's closer to the 1.5 deviation. So market is really up right now. And every time we go further long, it's making new highs for the day.
cluster NQ.
Didn't really reset. Simplicity didn't reset. But let's see where it goes. All right, see if it busts through this area here, this top, this flux level and all this stuff. It's at the top of the 50 tick bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the 6th bar now of the 50 tick. But see, this is an area where I wouldn't want my entry. I mean, you would want it, well, let me rephrase that. You would want it breaking out of this, like if it reset and then it breaks out of this, that'd be nice. But what I meant was on the 50 tick, this is where I wouldn't want a long entry. I'd want a long entry up here where the breakout is, where the breakout bar would be closing. And if you look at the simplicity chart, maybe that's not a bad idea either, because even if it breaks this little area, you still have this wall up here. So 80.25 would be the breakout bar. It's kind of far out there. So if it kind of creeps up here and resets and plays around and then gives a long up here, I would like that better. But it may give a long here. And if that's the case, I would not take it as a simplicity. I'd wait for it to run up, pull back, and take the LRE to continue long. That's really how I look at it. I mean, that's trying to keep it as simple as possible. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, stay within your money management plan and just repeat.
Double cluster NQ.
Dang, at 12,669, there's looks like 203 orders sitting there. Right here at 12,669. 203 buy orders.
Double cluster NQ.
Doctor, I'm looking at the order. Oops, the OP chart right here. Right here, it's 669. See, they all got eaten up. They were right here at 669. This level right here, but they all got eaten up, and they were buy orders. So you can see how they got eaten up, and market is going up.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
And you can see that if you have like the unlimited DOM. So if you pay for the extra data, then you can open up an order book within Rhythmic and see the full market depth. I don't have that because I don't really need that, I guess. But I do have the order prints chart, the OP chart, so I can see within the bar like that in the immediate area. Because if I'm in a trade, for example, like this trade I took back here, and if my stop is, let's say, down here, right, anywhere, just call it 638, but then I look on that OP chart and there's a whole bunch of orders just a couple ticks or points below me, then I'll put my stop behind that, so that wall of orders can be like protect my stop in a sense. Because typically, or not typically, it can't just blow through crazy orders like that because they have to get filled. So it's not going to just blow through. It'll bounce it maybe until it continues to eat those orders, if they were on the sell side, and then eventually go through. But it's not going to just fly through
Potential TX on NQ.
because it can't, because they got to get filled.
OP rejection on NQ. Double cluster NQ.
See, a lot of this stuff, this in-depth stuff, like that's something that's a little more in-depth, I guess. Apex really takes care of a lot of that stuff for us by default with this sniper system. Like a lot of that stuff we don't even have to think about, and we're doing subconsciously because that's how the Apex system works. So it's really nice. And that's why they say, if you're within, if your stop is right in front of a mini magnet, for example, or a stack or a wall, then just throw it behind it as protection. Well, that stack that they teach you to throw your stop behind, that's probably a stack of orders sitting there. See, now I wouldn't in this scenario because of all the junk we have below, but we just had a simplicity short. And if you look at the 50 tick, it was about up here towards the top. So you could ride a short down to the bottom of the bar for a little scalp, maybe 10 points or so. But in this case, well, actually, that bottom would be before all that junk. It'd be right down to the rose wall. But let's see. And that would have been, but it's too small. See, for me, it's 662.25 down to, well, I mean, I guess you could get 7 points right there. A little scalp of 7 points. That'd be nice. Good morning, John.
Double cluster NQ.
All right, so the bar did close on the 50 tick. 6 bars of chop. We are in a simplicity short already, so this is a situation where I'm going to let it run and look for a pullback versus taking that entry. But that wouldn't have been a bad, nice scalp there. 7 point. And you could look, if you were looking at the 50 tick and looked at it the way I was just saying, the entry was right here on the 10.
Potential TVS on NQ.
Yeah, right here. 662.25. So you could have looked and said, okay, well, that would be breaking this mini little zone that we were in here and target that rose wall. But now, like I said, we're heading into all this, which is screaming at me that it could chop.
TVS on NQ.
If the 30 tick bar could close down, if it can close short, leaving this mini magnet here, then that could potentially push us a good little way. But man, there's a lot to get through here. There's a lot to get through. Not very confident in that. So ideally, if I'm going short, I'm not looking to take anything until it gets below 640. Somewhere in that area.
Draft orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Hey, Ed, good morning. I know how that goes. It's trying to push through these order prints. Yeah, if it was clean, I would have been in this trade for sure. I would have been in the simp and the simplicity trade. You even had a pullback with this HD up here. It was a little bit of a choppy pullback, but you had HD leaving a paw here. I mean, yeah, this if all these obstructions weren't in the way, I'd be in right now. I'd be trailing this thing. But we got to look for red flags. And all this OP. And these are the ones that you can't get FOMO on because it may, it could just push through all of it. And you can't get FOMO on that because the next time you try it, it'll chop you out and probably lose. So just staying by the rules.
Draft orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Nice, G Money. And here's another pullback off this rose wall. But we just had ODD on the 10. No HD or anything on the 10 to say it's going to stop here, but there are those levels there. But coming back down, you'd have to get through all this OP right here on the left, which is stopping us from going down at the moment. So And as you can see, it would have lost. That's great. All my OP just went away on my 50 tick. On my copied OP, it just went away.
Double cluster NQ.
Actually, I need to refresh my 30 tick because it's only showing like 1 day for some reason. So that may be why it went away. You got too far away from the bars looking back. Something, I don't know. Simplicity is this chart. It measures implied volatility and price action. Implied volatility of the options index. So it's basically looking forward. When volatility, implied volatility and price action agrees, like right here, they both agreed, which means they angled red and going down. They both angled down, broke the low of that. So that means price will high probability go short. Same thing in the opposite direction if it's green and up. And if it's not, then it's choppy. Yeah, Karen, I don't know why it does that sometimes. When you load everything, it just, and it's only the 30 tick for me. Sometimes it'll just load 1 day, and then I got to go in there and into data series and change the day, even though I have like 5 days or whatever. I'll just either add 1 or 1 extra day, and then it'll load all the days. Yeah, exactly, G Money. It's pretty simple. It's definitely pretty simple. That's why it's called simplicity. But for us, we have to look at, just because it's agreeing and showing that direction, then we have to look at our other charts here to make sure there's nothing in the way, things like that, and that it's a high probability trade. Yeah, Karen, if you already have 5 loaded, just go ahead and change it to 4 or 6, and then it'll load all those days. I don't know why it does that. Hmm. Yeah, it's weird, Vegas. Is it your 30 tick also? Yeah, you actually have to. The only way to fix that, if it's just loading 1 day, you just have to change the days loaded in your data series. Like, you'll literally just, yeah, it's only the 30 tick that happens. See, look, 30 tick. If I scroll back, it's only loading that 1 day, even though I have 6 days loaded. So if I change it back to 5 and let it refresh, it'll load all the days. Don't know why that happens, but that only happens on the 30 tick. And I'm not taking another trade this morning because it's 9:21. So that's why I'm showing this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load. Yeah, Jim, that's I did a 30 tick because I like the bar to be, I like to see a good amount of orders. I was even thinking about doing a 50 tick, but I like the bar to be pretty big, and for some reason, I guess the way the chart tries to zoom itself, it doesn't look right if you go too large on the brick size. Yeah, see, Karen? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, mine does it, not every day, but it'll do it pretty often for sure. All right, yeah, it's taking its time to load. All right, Vegas. See you later. Have a good trading day the rest of your day. Well, yep. Ended up making 36 ticks. There we go. Now it's loaded.
Potential TX on NQ.
Here we go. Let me show. Now it's loaded. And now, as you can see, I can scroll back all those days. So, yeah. Not sure why that's the case.
Potential TX.
But, yeah. Trade. So, 36 ticks, which is $180 on one mini after commissions. I don't know. What was that? 176.02 after commissions. Not bad. And working on getting that back up to 25K. See how far. I'm only $170 away after a horrible January. Horrible January. So that's the key. Survive the bad times and then profit when it gets good. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end this stream. And I hope everybody has a great day. Everybody trading after the open. Y'all trade well. Follow your rules. Stick with your money management. Nice, Dan. All right. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Take care.